Welcome back, Vinita ji.
Shri Matre Namaha Praveen ji. Tantra says experience everything and that becomes the path. It's a pathless path.
Youngsters today use this word karma a lot. Now we know that karma is a belief. Question: is it real?
Karma is a universal law.
Like, okay, if I do a bad thing and then I will do immediately I will donate something and I will do some good. I will go to the temple and I will ask for forgiveness and then it will be taken care of.
It will clear your karma, but it will not clear your actions.
Is there a concept of good karma, bad karma then?
Yes, absolutely. One thing about karma that I would like to highlight is that intention is very important. It's like
Sri Matre Namaha. So happy that you're back.
it's my pleasure and joy. Thank you for having me back. And this is where I first started on my path of podcasts, and I'm so delighted to be back.
Thank you so much. So on my channel, Vinita Rashinkar is a blockbuster.
Thank you.
So people still watch the podcast that you have been. Almost all the episodes, they still go and watch. They keep commenting. Every day I get at least 1 or 2 comments on your podcast. And most of them are positive. And it's so good to see that the podcast which we did maybe 1 year or 2 years before also has got enough traction even now. So I'm so happy about that, and so welcome you
And
once
congratulations on your growth. Really delighted to see where you're headed. And I just hope that Ma gives you much more and all that you deserve.
Thank you so much. Thank you. So you don't need introduction on my channel at least, but at least for people who are new and don't know much about Vinita Rashinkar. She's an author. She's an author of at least 7 books, if I'm correct. She has written on Sri Vidya. She has written on the Sri Chakra and Tantra, basically, and many. I don't know the exact titles of the book. We will display all the covers of the book on the screen for sure. So one thing, the first book, when I started reading about Tantra was Woodruff's book, and it went such bounces on my head. It was like I couldn't, fathom or gauge. I was trying to read it once or twice or thrice, but after that I got a hand on Vinitaji's book. It is so simple to read. Like, why couldn't he write so simply, right? Because he just goes on in so many difficult sentences, and that way you have written it so simple. And even this book which I was reading is so simple. So let's talk about this book of yours, which is Tantra, the Pathless Path, today. I have so many questions, but of course we can't cover the entire book, but at least a few chapters from here will sort of help the audience know what is relevant to them, what will be helpful to them. So here in this book, you have written Tantra, the Pathless Path. Now, okay, the question comes, pathless path, what do you mean by that? Why is it the pathless path? So, yeah.
Instead of trying to tell you what to do, Tantra says experience everything and that becomes the path. So in a way, you're charting your own course.
Okay.
And when there is no defined path, you're not headed in any particular direction, which means that you're free to explore. And then there is no destination in this journey. That's why it's a pathless path. Because every milestone that you reach or every obstacle that you overcome, that itself creates the next, literally like your next step. And so the journey itself is the destination.
Okay. So let's say, for example, if I want to reach a destination B, it's not just the main road which is laid out for you, but I can take an offbeat path, or I can fly in, or I can dig a tunnel underneath it, or probably whatever, right? I can reach.
You could even crawl if you so desire, because perhaps that would bring you closest to Mother Earth. and that is your chosen path.
Hmm.
So then you make the path. And in making the path, also remember that you erase the path because it's only for you. So you make the path, and then as you erase it, it becomes pathless again. So that nobody then steps in your footsteps. What
Okay.
you've done is only for yourself. So it's your path and yours alone.
So then there are again more questions here.
Mm-hmm.
What if I'm reaching there, I find an obstacle and I am killing that obstacle. So will that not become an adharmic way to reach that path?
Metaphorically or literally?
Maybe both.
Okay. So with Tantra, everything that exists is divine.
Okay.
If you look at something from the lens of adharma, then it becomes that. Whereas if you do it with complete intention, that for you it is morally correct, then you are not becoming a party to extra karma accrued on that path. So again and again, we will keep hearing this word, intention. What is your intention? Because that becomes the most important word in the lexicon of Tantra.
Okay. So if it becomes a pathless path for me alone, should I be thinking only about me, or should I be thinking the collective goodness of the people around? If I think only about me selfishly, then there is nothing which will stop me. Probably, like I said, literally, if I take some of among the humans, some people might think that this is my path. I'm going to get it there. This is my desire. I will go what may come in front of me. So I can become a terrorist, and I can say this is my path, and I'll reach there. This is where I will reach my heaven.
Right.
Whoever comes in between, I kill them. So is that also a Tantra?
See, within Tantra itself, there are various paths again. So you could determine if you want to be one on the Aghora path, where it's only about you. And in a way, that selfishness is also the selflessness. Both can coexist.
Okay.
It's not a dichotomy. It's not a duality sometimes. When you decide that you want to become a yogi and you just want to go away into the Himalayas, perhaps it may also be that you're freeing a lot of other attachments that you have made along the line. So it could be selfless and selfish at the same time. So it depends on what path you choose. And that's why we keep saying Sri Vidya is the path for the grihastha. So there are the various acharas that determines whether you're doing something for the greater good or you're just focused on your own personal evolution on the spiritual path. Because any spiritual person essentially is trying only to become a better version of himself. And if that helps society at large, it's fine. But that's not the intention with which one sets out.
Okay. So while on this path, I think the path itself will teach you something that you will change the course of the path, and you keep changing it.
You'll keep course correcting until you align with your authentic self, and you will clear all the obstacles which you were meant to, because you are here to learn certain lessons in life. That's why we keep seeing people behaving in the same patterns. So once you've learned that lesson, the patterns will fall away.
Okay.
And those circumstances will not arise again.
Okay. So now this gives a segue into the one more topic, which is the third or the fourth chapter in your book, which is karma, right? So these obstacles or whatever actions that I take in my path, I also understand that this also depends on the karma that I have done before, or whatever I'm doing and stuff like that. So there is a chapter called as the samskaras, the vasanas,
Vritti, vasana, samskara.
And also the karma. So when it comes to karma, I got a forward on, I don't know where, I think I saw it on the internet, that there are 10 hospitals in a locality. All the 10 hospitals are good facility. Nothing is bad as such, good ratings. And there are 10 women expecting a child any moment. And all of them almost at the similar time. Let's say, let's take it as 3:15 in the morning or in the evening. Around that time, they give birth to one kid each, right? So, and there's a person who goes around the hospital to check on the health of these kids. 5 of them good, 3 of them have some problems, breathing issues, 2 of them have some deformities in their bodies. Now, all these hospitals are good. The mums were good, they were healthy and everything. But these kids come out, there are variations in how these kids are, born. So, and that message had that this is karma. So that is what I understood. Okay, this is how it is. I mean, it's something which is uncontrollable by us, something like that.
Not far from the truth.
Yeah.
Because karma shows itself up. One of the child might be very cute looking. The other might not be so good looking.
Yeah.
One might have very wealthy parents.
Correct.
The other might be just from a nearby slum.
Yeah.
So karma comes with various dimensions. So the first dimension perhaps is that of the material. Whether the parents are affluent, whether they can provide for the children going into the future, what they can provide. The second thing, and that becomes more and more important as the child grows, is the physical karma. Does it turn out to be a very attractive? If it's a girl, then is she going to be a beautiful girl or a good looking boy? Because that in turn is going to dramatically affect the quality of life. Then there are 2 more dimensions which are not immediately visible. It's almost like adrishta phala. So one is the emotional dimension of karma, whether you're going to be happy or not. That when you're a child, it's hard to tell.
Okay.
But in the long term, over the years, that is going to determine what success means to you. Because if you're happy, then ultimately that's the biggest success story that exists on this planet.
Right.
And then the 4th dimension is that of spiritual. How one is going to evolve in this life, whether one is going to be religious or is going to embrace something beyond what is in the material world. So all these 4 things are at play in every baby who's in every one of those hospitals. And only time will tell how it plays out.
So let's talk about what is vasana, what is samskara, what is vritti, and then therefore karma. Can we talk a little bit of that?
Sure. First, let's understand that how karma plays out. Now, karma you can see as sanchita karma, which you can think of as like the total bank balance that you have from all the previous lifetimes. Because we believe in reincarnation. So it's important to understand it from that context.
Yeah.
And then you have a little bit of it which you bring into this particular lifetime, which is called the prarabdha karma, which you carry with you. And it's like the currency you're carrying in your wallet, which you need to expend. Then what you make in the process of spending all of that prarabdha becomes your kriyamana or agami karma.
Okay.
So that in turn determines how you are going to use that which was given to you in this lifetime. So if you're clear about these 3 or 4 aspects of karma, know that only prarabdha is the one which we have right now in our hands.
You can control it.
To some extent. There is the illusion of choice.
Okay.
Although to a large measure, most of it is already preordained, but some of the things we can change. The major events of our life, like where we are born, to whom we are born, at what time we are born, control. All those things we can't undo. What DNA we carry, what are our strong points, and then who do we meet. All of these things are already when we get married, or whether or not we have children. These are all preordained, but it appears to us like we have complete control because it's the illusion that we are all able to make the decisions of our life. When if you actually look at it, you are not the thinker of your thought. So what decisions are you actually making? Because everything is determined by your vasana. So to come to what is a vasana? So Vasa is the place of dwelling. So also that Vasana in our local language Kannada, Vasane means like the smell. So that is what resides. It's a residual kind of thing, like which dwells, So if you're making something aromatic, that smell remains in the kitchen or hovers around the house. So this is what carries over from lifetime to lifetime. And that then gives rise to vritti, which is what moves your mind in a particular direction. And all of these together make up the samskaras, which are the ingrained patterns that are already there for you. It's like, look at it as a tracing paper. So when you draw on the tracing paper, you've left a remnant of what you want to draw. And it's easier to follow that than to draw a freehand.
Correct.
So that is exactly what a samskara is. So it is prodding you in a particular direction. Okay. So these three come together to make karma. And the thing is that, see, in the Padma Purana, Garuda Purana, Vishnu Purana, we are told about the kinds of 8.7 million different kinds of lives that exist. Species across,
everything. Animals, birds,
plants,
everything.
Perhaps even because in Sanatana, we believe in what is called panpsychism, that consciousness pervades everything.
Yeah.
So all the way from a rock to us humans who are at the height of that consciousness, everything has some amount of consciousness. So we have Nabhachara, which is the ones which live in air, Thala, which live on earth or under the earth, and Jala, which lives under water. Now, even within that, the way in which they take birth. So there are some beings which come through the yoni, which are the mammals, the viviparous, as they are called, like elephants and humans and so on. The others are through the form of egg. And then there are others which just happen through division.
Right.
So amongst all of these, the ones which are coming through a yoni, passing through a womb, are the ones which have the most heightened level of consciousness.
Okay.
And even amongst all of these, we humans are considered to be the height, the maximum, the pinnacle of having consciousness, because we are the only ones. We have the determination to figure out why we are here. We ask all these questions. Who made us? What created us? Why? What is the reason? What is the purpose of our being? Which no other being, no other species on this planet is capable of. So to that extent, they do not have karma operating in their life.
When you do that pagade thing, right?
Yeah.
So you reach a number. It's like snake and ladder. The colonial version of it. But we had those games even before also. So when you do that pagade, you reach a certain number. They'll say, this number, you reach Navilu Janma. And this number, if you reach, you will Tigane Janma. So, like, it's like a game, but I'm just asking. So, once you are what you're saying is, once you're a human, you won't go back? Or
of course, you might go back.
Okay.
There is always a possibility.
Okay.
That's why you have to be so careful of your karmic activity.
Okay.
Because there are some beliefs that once you're born a human, you will always, you've elevated to a point where you will not take birth in a lower form. But there are some other tantra texts which insist that it is highly possible that you will descend like snakes and ladders. You will fall down again, and then you'll have to do all of those rebirths to come back to a human birth.
But then if I am born as an animal, I don't have that discernment to know what to do in terms of rituals or donations or whatever. How will I even upgrade myself to become a human? I don't have control there.
True. It's just a process of, I think there's some universal law at play there, the cosmic rita, which they talk about, which is not easily available to anyone. Even the rishis grappled with that. But for sure, the back and forth, the reincarnations in different forms do happen. But why the human form is considered so precious is because you've literally elevated yourself to this level of 8.4 million janmas. And now you have the discretion to move on further and choose moksha or not.
That is to the idea there. Therefore, is sort of transcend the cycle of life and death.
Yes.
Then you don't have that. You don't have to come back again.
You break the cycle of samsara, of life and rebirth and death, and then it ad nauseum. It just goes on and on and on. And once you take human form, you come to the realization that it's the same morning. It's this everyday humdrum thing. And it's better to not come back. And just put a full stop to it.
Okay.
Up until the human life, and even for 99% of humans, the thought never arises in their mind that they're just on this treadmill of life. When that thought comes and when they've evolved to a point where they become aware.
Okay, so a lot of things have been shared here. I will kind of summarize because maybe there is a 20-year-old or 25-year-old watching this. So what I am trying to summarize is what is karma? Karma is your action.
Yes.
And that action is whatever you do in the current life. It's again a belief that in Sanatana Dharma, we believe that we do have multiple lives.
Yes.
Right? We can take birth again and again. That is one belief that we have. I'll come to that question. There was a question from a youngster. So that's the belief that we have, that we have multiple lives, and our past actions, it's like a piggy bank. So you have coins, right? And then you have written it that way.
Yes.
You have coins, and then you have collected certain coins in your earlier life, and then you bring it back in your piggy bank. And this life also you are spending coins, right?
And also collecting in the process of spending.
Yes. So it's like a cyclical thing.
Right.
You're doing karma, you're collecting, you're doing it again. It's like cycle going on.
It's only now that we have the ability to say, okay, I will not do any more karmas. I will not add to my karmas. Once you come on the spiritual path, you get into the mode of sadhana and you go into complete sharanagati and say, it's like nishkama karma comes into play.
Right. So if I decide, again, from the analogy of a bank that I'm saying, the piggy bank that you have, I say I'm tired of this transaction of collecting, putting it again, putting it back, putting it again. I want it zero, or I don't want anything of it. I want it null. Let it be. I don't want to do all these transactions. I have to reach there. That's the point of
sadhana, of getting on the spiritual path. Until you come here and do the internal work, moksha becomes practically impossible unless you've accrued so much good karma over your various janmas that you are already an enlightened master, just having taken this birth to complete the process. But that's rare.
Okay. So then that means the question that I had asked before, for each action there is a reaction, and the cause and the effect which is there. So the question that I had asked, if I kill someone, that karmas, that burden, that currency is more.
Yes.
Right?
True.
So I will think that I will have to carry this baggage even more.
So the question is, Praveen, whether just because you killed someone, that same being or that same entity is going to come and kill you in another life. It doesn't work like that.
No.
And this is one very common misconception, which most of our Puranas try to tell us, that it's not like if A is equal to B kind of situation. It's never that. You don't know how it will play out. It could just be that you will be so emotionally hurt. It may not necessarily be that it's like a physical death, but you might feel that, that person might dump you or do something to you which hurts you even more. So it's not necessarily the same action which happens. So yes, cause and effect, but not the same thing that you did to them is going to get done back at you.
Okay. So then is there a concept of good karma, bad karma then?
Yes, absolutely. It's like all those coins you were talking about, right? So if you put in a good shiny silver coin in some other janma, that's going to come as that good shiny silver coin. So you're going to be born in a very good family, with a very attractive countenance, perhaps. If you put in a bad coin, which is a bad deed that you have done, which is like a not shiny, old-looking coin, that will show up in another life as a bad circumstance.
Okay. So that is again the same things of doing good things, doing charity work, or being good to people. Is that all good coins?
Charitability is very debatable because it has to be on the lines of actually ensuring that you're not messing with someone else's karma. So I'll give you an example. Okay. And it's very controversial what I'm going to say, but I still have to put it out there because this is my lived experience. Now, when there is an individual and he is asking you for money, okay, if you give him the money without knowing how he's going to spend it, he might use it to drink and then beat his wife. Some of that karma accrues to you as well.
Okay.
So it's better you say no. In that instance, the charity best done is if you pay someone's medical bills when they are in difficulty, or you educate someone. I think in these two instances only you're not getting mixed up with other people's karmas.
Okay, so that's why they also say that Annadana is the Mahadana.
Yes.
Because there you're not messing with.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah. But when we talk of charity, when we talk of donations, it's best to keep for these two causes and make sure that it goes directly to the institution or to the hospital or whatever. Rather than to the individual, because how the individual uses that money which you give him is not under your control. So then you don't want to be a party to that.
Maybe avoid doing this to unknown people.
Yes.
So that means if someone comes on the traffic light and asks me money, it's better I avoid it?
Yes.
That's a controversial thing to say.
It is controversial, but this is how it is explained. I think even to some extent, a very deep esoteric understanding of the Mahabharata will tell you this, that you stick with doing good whenever you can, but don't interfere in other people's karma when you don't know where it's going to lead.
Youngsters today use this word karma a lot. Karma is a bitch. Then karma will hit harder. Yesterday I got a question from my niece saying, karma hits harder. Is it real? Okay, this is so now we know that karma is a belief. Now she is asking me the question, is it real? Now what do you have to say about this?
Karma is not a belief, Praveen.
Okay.
Karma is a universal law. Much like gravity, much like all the other laws of nature. If you believe in Sanatana Dharma, karma is one of those universal laws. Right? Now, having said that, yes, it is a part of our belief system. But just like how Tantra is misrepresented in the Western media, so also they have misrepresented karma to make it that it is something that will come to bite you back. It is not retribution.
Right.
Karma is only about cause and effect. It only says that if you do good, something good awaits you. If you do bad, then you'll have to face the consequences of that. If not in this lifetime, in another lifetime.
Yeah. That is what they have to understand it.
Yes, in the simplest way possible.
What I was saying is that in one of the paragraph that you have mentioned, karma doesn't work in the way that people think it works. That it like, okay, if I do a bad thing, and then I will do immediately I will donate something and I will do some good. I will go to the temple and I will ask for forgiveness, and then it will be taken care of. That many of our teachings also say that if you say, even in Lalita Sahasranama also, it says that if you say Amma's name itself, that itself will clear your karma. Or let's say if you say Vishnu's name itself, that will clear your karma. So people say, oh Vishnu, please forgive me, and then do all nonsense they want to.
It will clear your karma, but it will not clear your actions. And there's a lot of difference between the two. So when they say it clears your karma, it means perhaps that some little portion of it might get rinsed. But neutralization is not possible. So if you've done something evil, in some lifetime, you will have to face the consequences of that.
Yeah.
It cannot be neutralized by donating 1 crore to Tirumala or 2 crores to Shirdi Sai Baba. It doesn't work like that because this is a universal law.
Yeah.
And they follow, the law has to be followed.
Correct. I can give one example since I'm reading the Mahabharata. Yudhishthira, he is known as the epitome of dharma, and he is also the son of the Dharmaraya. And for all the karmas that he did, that playing dice and wagering his own wife and all that, right? So he had to face that when he went to the heavens. I mean, he didn't directly go to the heavens when Dharmaraya was taking him. I don't know the exact sequences of it, but he had to see the hell. He had to walk through that. So he was like so disturbed that why are you taking me through this? So Dharmaraya had to tell him that you did all those deeds, so you can't escape it.
Right.
So he had to see that hell.
Yes.
All the miseries that is there.
Naraka,
everything he had to see. He had to pass through that. And then only he reached heaven. So he was like desperate, take me there, don't show me all of this. He said, you have to. So when he cannot escape.
Who are we mere mortals?
Yeah. And he is the king of dharma. So that's what I can say.
But then also one way of looking at it, Praveen, is how much can we sin?
Yeah.
See, there's been one Hitler. Okay. How much can you and I sin? We are not out there or see like what Parashurama did, for example. He annihilated an entire race.
Kshatriya clan.
Right?
Yeah.
So we are not, our karmas at best might be very
Lower
small, very, very low grade. So perhaps there's something to be said about that itself.
Okay, so we can think positive about it, then we can probably work on it. Any parting shot that you want to give for this episode?
Particularly, I think you've been successful in covering all the most important points.
Okay.
But one thing about karma that I would like to highlight is that intention is very important. It's like if you take the example of a doctor who goes into an operating room using the knife as something with which he can give life to versus someone who's attacking you to with the intention of causing you harm. It's only the intention that matters. So, for example, if the patient dies on that operating table, will that accrue karma for the doctor? No, because his intention was correct.
Okay.
His intention was to save the life. But that person's prarabdha was over. So, that person had to go. So, there is no accrual of karma for the doctor.
Okay.
Whereas in the other case where someone goes with the motive of harming someone else, then their prarabdha may or may not be complete at that point of time, but you are interfering and bringing their life to an end. So for that, you have to pay the price.
Okay.
So intention is very important.
And you have also written, sorry, again, we are extending the conversation. You've also written about collective karma also, right?
Yes.
So that means a country can also have a karma, right?
Yes.
So whatever a country does collectively.
A city, a country, even the entire earth itself or entire galaxy itself. There is, because it's a universal law, like I said. So when a lot of people die during earthquakes or during natural disasters, people wonder, how did so many people die? That's because there's a collective karma at work.
Okay, so thank you so much, Vinita ji, for sharing all the knowledge. And I hope this serves as a karma 101 to people who are, kind of misinformed on a lot of things. So I hope this podcast helps, and I hope they watch it with more and have more clarity on this. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Praveen.
Sri Matre Namaha.
Sri Matre Namaha.